Hello, my name is Jackye Mills. I've been asked to share with you how I would create a painterly looking image from a photograph. This particular image was taken at a photography workshop at Discard Lighthouse. So first step would be to clone out my fellow photographers. And also I cleaned up the bottom corner there. I don't think it'll be of interest in my image, but I took it out just to be sure. Next step would be for me, was to create a new sky using the Edit Sky feature in Photoshop, Replacement Sky. This was a sky I'd taken myself, so I don't feel too badly about using that in an image. Next step for me would be to put on a watercolor or a painting filter of any description. I'm going to use Topaz Impression. So I'm going to group my layers, Control-Alt-Shift, and go to Filter, Topaz Labs, Impression. And I'm going to use a fairly aggressive impasto filter. And it's okay to be aggressive because I'm going to take my brush and mask out, particularly around the buildings where I find it quite too strong. From the lighthouse over here. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go to my background layer and duplicate it using Control-J and drag that layer right to the very top of the stack. And I'm going to go to Filter, Stylize, find edges. This will bring out the edges in the building, which is what I particularly want. So to take it from being colored to desaturated, Control-Shift-U. And I've got my photographer's back, so I'm going to use my tool to just take them out again. Tripod on. Okay, so that looks pretty much the way I want it. So I'm going to change the blend mode of that to multiply. I'm going to hide my outline layer. Now just make sure it's what I want. I think it's a little bit too dark. So I'm going to change the opacity down to about 80%. So next I'll go to my bottom layer, unlock my background layer, and I'm going to create a new layer beneath it. And I like negative space in my artwork, so I'm going to crop my photograph. This isn't the final crop, but it will give me space to extend my image if I want to, and I can crop it out later should I choose to. So I'm going to okay that crop, and then I'm going to fill the layer with a color. I had chosen a light canvas color, and I'm also going to put a texture filter on that. So filter gallery, texturizer, I chose the sandstone filter. So hit OK for that. Next, I'm going to choose all the layers above the texture layer. And layer group layers. And when I have hit group layers, I'm going to put on a mask, Alt, Mask, which will cover all of my image. And I'm now going to use my brushes to reveal my image below. I have a number of watercolor brushes that I use on a more regular basis, so I have them all grouped in a section in my brushes. So I'm going to use a low opacity just firstly to define where my image is, painting on a black layer, so you need a white brush. So this is just giving me an idea of where I want my image to be the center of interest. So I like to use different brushes so that you have different edges, makes it more interesting. You don't want to keep using the same brush without changing its size because, or size or its shape, otherwise it just gets really boring. This is mostly a question of do it. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, Control Z, go back, change the direction. One thing about this type of thing, you do this image 14 times and get a different result each time, which I know for sure because I've done it. Also like the splatter brushes that reveal some of the image behind. This was a lot of the way I painted with flipping paint brushes, so it's just familiar to me. You can play back and forth with this, different brushes, adding brushes, taking things away. I won't bore you with going on and on about that, but that's basically the idea. Often what I'll do is add a blank layer above and then be able to paint out, choose this color, for example, low opacity, maybe try 32%, just to fade my edges out over where my painting would have been before. Something like that. And then I think that's a bit heavy, so I'm just going to reduce the opacity. You can go up, go down. I'm not sure I'm on the screen, so let's do that. And you can also add brush strokes over on that layer as well, like a splatter brush stroke. It's a bit heavy, so we've got it. Opacity down. Mostly it's just a question of playing around with your image until you're happy with it. And once you are, then I think I'm finding that this is a bit dark, so I'm going to add a brightness layer, just brightness up, contrast up. And then at this point, I'll decide, I think that I had given it too much space for the crop, so I'm going to bring it down, bring it in. Something like that. So just to give you an idea of when I was referring to, you can try it many times and get many different results. This was one image that I had done while thinking about what to do in this demonstration. This was another one, and that was another one. So there was never really a particular intent to go one way or the other. It's just whatever your artistic thoughts are at the time. So I hope that maybe some of you are interested in this type of imagery, and if so, I hope that this has helped you a little bit. Thanks for your time. Bye.